Hi, Paul here. I bet you've never ever thought about this. Have you ever wondered why people don't change? Why clients and agencies, why creative people don't actually do the things they say they want to do and be creative and take risks? Have you ever wondered why that seems to be so hard? Well, settle in for a minute because this is really going to be a mind blower. Remember, there's a part of us, of our brain, of our system, that keeps us alive, that identifies threats and has kept us alive. If you're here to actually see this right now, think back in your life and the number of times where you didn't take that particular wrong step, you jumped out of the way at the right time, you didn't go down that street, you didn't try to beat the light, right? These are things where an autonomic actually system in our nervous system, in our awareness, keeps us alive. It's a part of our life that is ruled automatically by our brain that keeps us physically alive, that can instantly identify threats. And in most cases, because again, if we're still here together, in most cases, it kept us alive. That is an automatic system in us. And it's natural, which is why it is natural for people not to want to change, for people not want to take creative risks, for people not to become who they really wish to be, because we are naturally good at identifying risks. Naturally, systemically. So, what to do? Should we declare war on that part of us and say, no, that's keeping us, it's keeping us small? No. Say thank you for that system that has kept us alive more and more times than we can count in our life. That is a very valuable system. But to activate real change in trusting creative and being risk averse or whatever, here's what you have to do. It's like a muscle that you have to build. Those of us who have ever been snow skiers know the first time you ever ski and you go to après-ski, you can barely sit down and stand up again because you realize you're using muscles that generally you don't use unless you sit down in the middle of your room without a chair for a while and wall sits, things like that. You don't really use those muscles normally, so the first time you do, it feels sore and weird. Well, the muscle that you have to activate is sort of an unused mental muscle. And the way you do it, let's say you want to be more creative. Let's say you want to sell more. Let's say you want more clients. Guess what? You need to visualize it first. There are people who this message isn't even necessary because that's the way they are wired for whatever reason. They just do the things that they want to do with aplomb and with joy. But for a lot of people who are stuck, I want you to learn this. Visualize who you really want to be, where you really want to be. Successful, rich, powerful, serene, happy. And you may think, well, that isn't the way it is, so I can't do that. Oh, really? Oh, really? Well, if you imagine being homeless, if you imagine being poor, if you imagine being on the street, as a toothless, wrinkled old person, unloved and unwanted, if you can imagine that, you have just proven you have the ability to imagine anything. And if you have a natural ability to imagine the worst, again, that is connected to the autonomic system in our central nervous system in our brain that keeps us safe and alive. So, you just need to practice. You know how you learn to juggle? By dropping balls. You know how you learn to play a musical instrument? By playing wrong notes. How did you learn to ride a bicycle? By falling off. This muscle that trusts in your genius, that trusts in your creative powers, that trusts in the spirit of you that makes you who you are, and believing success and feeling the success, feeling that you will attract everything you want to do, is an opportunity to exercise this in your own mind. Spend time every day Try 30 seconds first, and then maybe you'll get up to an hour. But just try for a few seconds to really imagine your ideal life in business, in home, family, your health. Imagine it, feel it, see yourself. How are you standing? Who are you with? Where are you? How do you move? How do you act? How do people respond to you? See that like a movie playing, in your mind, and see yourself in it. This is literally what I'm talking about. The difficulty people have in taking creative risks is because it's a natural, hardwired ability that we have. And thank you for that keeps us alive. But to dream something that isn't identifying a threat, but really becoming immersed in the ideal, perfect life you want, poised, steadfast, and serene, takes practice. It takes rehearsal. And personally, I don't know anything more important than that. When you spend a few minutes a day, or a lot of minutes per day, with your eyes closed, imagining this and seeing the vision of what your company is going to be, what all your employees are going to be, how you're going to grow, how the world's going to see what you're doing, imagining doing something really ballsy and risky and cool that the world says, this is amazing, and winning all the awards you want, whatever you want. Imagining that and feeling how good that feels. And if it does really feel good, you'll do it more often. And the more often you do it, the more often and more easily you can do it. And that will change the way you think, the way you email, the way you text, the way you write, the way you design, the way you post, the way you speak, the way you meet, the way you sell. I promise it will. And if you say, no, this can't be, again, can you imagine the worst happening? Then you still have the power of imagining. Now turn that power of imagination towards something you do want. I hope this is useful to somebody, because it's hell, my gosh, useful to me. And I play with it every day. It feels great. What do you think?